What is up, YouTube? It's Isaiah Malonson. Yesterday, I got off a phone call that was an hour long, and it was from someone who does 30 wholesale deals a month. He owns an acquisitions company and he owns a disposition company. And I think he also owns something else, but yeah, he's doing 30 wholesale deals a month. And I was able to be on the phone with him for 1 hour, pick his brain, take a bunch of notes, a full page of notes, and he didn't charge me a dime. Why is that though, right? That's not the first time I've done that. I've done that with multiple other people. I've done that with pretty much almost all my mentors. The only mentor I didn't do it with is Chandler Sane, who is my most recent, he's the most recent paid mentor. I paid Chandler Sane $12,000 for him to teach me to get to 100 grand a month. In this video, I just want to go over the 5 things that I have learned to be extremely valuable when networking with people who are a level above you. Okay, there's a certain way to go about that. You cannot just go about that any sort of way. If you really want to nurture a relationship and a friendship with someone higher than you, whether it's because you look up to them or you like their work or whatever the case is, there's certain things that you do and you don't do. And here's 5 things that I have learned to be the most valuable when networking with higher level individuals. Okay, so the first one is most profitable friendships start off as strictly business. 90% of the time, like 95 to like maybe 99% of the time, of like true friends who make money together started off as business, like strictly business. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me, we're here to do our job, let's do it. That's how it starts off. And then you do a really good job, and it just so happens that other person does a really good job, and like you get to know each other. But let's talk about when you're dealing with someone who's a higher level than you. So every single mentor that I've had, every single one except for Chandler Sane, I've met through work. Honestly, they all started off the same. I was bringing them deals. I didn't know who these people were really at the time. I didn't know that they were gonna be my mentor. I didn't know that they have that much value to give me. I'm just constantly producing. I'm always producing. I'm a producer. I'm gonna produce value every single day as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna have metrics to set for myself to produce value into the world, shoot it out into the world. So my first mentor, his name was James Wells. You might have seen me on a few interviews with him, but I met him after I got my first wholesale deal. I was in the middle of getting my second one. I still had a long way to go, but he helped me so much, and it's because I was cold calling on Zillow, and I just called about his house, and then I just started working on it, right? And look, here's another thing. Also, here's another very important thing. All of those mentors that I got that started off as strictly business, none of the deals went through. All of the deals fell through. So with my first mentor, I was working on his deal and I brought him another deal. It just didn't work out. Vince, recently, who helped me get $100,000, our first deal that initially connected us, that fell apart too. That fell through. The dude who I just got off an hour-long phone call with yesterday, who's doing 30 deals a month, we were looking at 3 deals together, and like they all fell through. But the point is, it's not that I'm instantly putting money in their pocket day one. I'm sure that'll be nice for them, but that's not the point. The point is, I was working. I was working, and I was showing them my value. It started off as work, and that's the best types of relationships to have, the ones that start off at work. So if you guys both start off at work, then it's not awkward or complicated or whatever to push each other to do better. So the second one is the first few interactions should reflect your work ethic. And I put persistence. Every interaction, the first interactions, I'm working, I'm hustling. Is this a deal? Or like, here, I got this under contract. You got anything? Let me get it under contract. The first 2 weeks is like strictly that. Like, it should be only that, only business and you working hard. My realtor, Tommy, we closed what, $30,000 together, $35,000 together? We closed more than that, but just within the past like 3 months of me knowing him, we made like 30,000, something like that. Bro, I remember the first day we met, or like the first week that we met. It was strictly business. We were only talking about business. And as we got on the phone more, because we were doing so much business, that's when, our personalities started to come out and we just became friends, So I'm telling you, like, don't focus on networking, focus on doing the work, giving as much value to as many people as possible and seeing where you could do business with as many people as possible or the right people. But yeah, Never call somebody higher than you that you're trying to work with and network with and just ask them off a list of questions. Sellers don't like that, prospects don't like that, leads don't like that, buyers don't like that, mentors don't like that, friends don't like that. Nobody likes that. So don't call somebody and interrogate them with questions that you want to know that is only benefiting you. It's not benefiting them. Number 3, 2 things to check off in a first interaction, okay? These are 2 things that you always have to check off every time you're having a first interaction with someone who's higher up than you or at a level that you want to be at. Value established and ego stroked. You have to establish your value as a human being and as an individual and as an entrepreneur, as a business person, and you have to stroke the person's ego that you're trying to network with. How do you do that? How do you establish your value? Without bragging. There's subtle ways that you could do it. Like, for instance, I was on the phone the other day with a potential JV partner. She owns a bigger company here in Dallas, a wholesale company and a fix and flip company. And I was on the phone with her, and originally I was talking to one of her assistants because I was trying to work one of these JV deals that we found. We talked to the assistant, and then she gave us the CEO's number, the owner's number. And I called her and I was like, oh, you're the CEO of this company. Wow, that's awesome. I really, really like your website. In fact, I was actually showing it to my team. I put it on our company goals. I copy and pasted the link and put it up there and said, we need to make a website exactly like this within the next 90 days. Because I really like how your website has the JV section to where people could just go on there and import their deals directly to your website. I thought that was really cool. So it's nice meeting you, you know. That was the second thing I said. The first thing I said was, hey, nice meeting you. I was reaching out about your deal on 123 Main Street. I actually have 2 buyers that buy in that neighborhood. I actually sold a deal to them 2 months ago. And I know that they would like this one because they literally bought another one identical to it. It's just that I know personally they would need to be at around this price. I was just calling to see if, if I did get my buyer to come in at that price and he were to deposit EMD tomorrow, right, as is, non-refundable, do you think there's any room for us to make money at that price, or what are the profit margins looking like if we could get them at this price? So boom, that's me establishing my value. And then I stroked her ego by saying the website stuff, which is true. All of it was true. But that is, if you ever want to do a JV with someone, that is what you do. You say that, okay? You say, hey, don't say, hey, I like this deal. I got buyers. You down a JV? I mean, you're not going to really establish value like that. Now you just sound like every other wholesaler. You sound like every other wholesaler in the game, beginner wholesaler, doesn't know how to establish value, doesn't really know how to bring any real value. So you got to say it. You got to talk like it. You got to talk like you're worth something. So when you say something that's specific, that directly benefits the person that you're trying to network with, now they're paying attention. Now they're open. So at first I said the value thing, right? I established my value by saying I have buyers in this area. I've sold a deal to them that looks exactly like this 2 months ago. They want to buy this one, but we need to probably have. So it's like, I can make you money immediately. I can make you money immediately. That's my value. I could get this deal sold for you so you don't have to worry about it. I could solve an issue for her and make her some money. But also at the same time, I said something that I could not make up about the website shit. That was a direct stroke to her ego. And you could do it with someone else, but that's just one example. But I do that a lot. Basically, a basic simple way to do it is just say something that you noticed about them that involves their business or their money, and say how that affected you, or say how you're implementing something to be like that. That's really good. When you say that you're implementing something in your life, you're implementing some change in your life to do something that they're doing, that massively strokes their ego. Number 4, establish undeniable value. How and why? Well, I learned this from experience, but I've been hearing Alex Hormozi say it a little bit. I think he took the 30 most viral videos that he ever uploaded to YouTube, and then he tried to find the most common traits between each of them. What is the 1 or 2 or 3 things that each of these videos has that the other ones don't? The number 1 common trait was that in the beginning of each video, he said who he was and he established value. But I believe it was specifically he said who he was, what he does, and how much money he makes. And then he made the claim, I have nothing to sell you. And I remember watching those old Alex Hormozi videos. The fact that he did that, whenever he did those in those videos, I was immediately intrigued. I'm in for the whole video now. It could be an hour-long video, but his intro was so on point that is like, as soon as I watch that first 5 seconds, I'm watching the hour-long video. Like, I'm intrigued about the whole hour-long video. Not only because he intrigued me in the beginning, but because throughout the whole video, he adds value. An example would be, he said, I'm Alex Hermosi, I own acquisitions.com, and I do $100 million a year. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to da-da-da-da, and I have nothing to sell you. He would say something like that. Another example I wrote down is, my name is Isaiah Malonzo, and I run a wholesale real estate business. This year I made $250,000. Last year I was dead broke, and this is how I blank. This is how I network with high-level individuals. So whenever you're on the phone with someone or whenever you're talking to someone in person, don't say it like you're bragging. Be like, oh, I got a wholesale company and I da-da-da. No, you say something that's so subtle that whispers success. That's the key. Instead of saying, I do 30 deals a month, you could say something like, I just had to hire one of my dispo guys. He wasn't getting along with the other two. Something like that. I just made that up. But something like that lets me know that he has a major, not even a major, but it's big enough to do 100K a month wholesale company, and he has multiple employees. Just by saying something like that. It has to be so subtle. If you really want to establish undeniable value, you make a statement that is so subtle, but the few words that you say in there, it's like, okay, you don't say those words in that particular order unless you got some money. You know what I mean? It's one of those sort of things. You casually bring up something that you're proud of or whatever that establishes your value. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. You could simply say something like, yeah, I've called like 10 realtors yesterday to all get them to post this novation deal. And they told me that in order to post it, then that I need this certain verbiage at the end of my contract, and I'm just not sure where to find it. Or something like that. It's an intricate statement is what I'm saying. It's a complex statement. He's not here saying, or the example, whatever, they're not saying, I can't find a buyer. I will smack the fuck out of you. Like, don't say that shit around me. Get the fuck out of here. Like, go through the course or some shit. I don't know what to offer. Get that shit out of my ear. Get that shit out of my face. Okay? Seriously. If you want to establish value, if you want to build a relationship with me or any other mentor, I'm telling you how to do it for free. Now, you could pay somebody. You could pay somebody, just straight up pay them, but the relationship is a little bit different. Nothing's wrong with it. It's not like it's worse or bad. I'm just telling you how to do it the free way, and how to do it, not the free way, but how to do it the natural way, right? When you're not paying somebody. But yeah, when you say little subtle things that let people know he's either got money or he works hard or he does this or he does that, Like if you're walking and, you walked into a business, you're not flashing, telling everybody, oh, I got a Ferrari, I got a Ferrari, I got a Ferrari. No, you just walk around with a key in your hand. The right person will notice that shit. Just walk around with a key in your hand. Don't even like go around doing this. Just walk around, have it. Be like, yeah, I want to go over there. Like you don't even know it's in your hand, and they see, wait, what? Is that a Ferrari key right in his hand? Who is this guy? Is that real? So do the same thing with your words. The fifth and final thing is do not interrupt. When you're talking to someone who is higher level than you, that you want to learn from, you don't want to interrupt them when they're talking. Even if they're making a point and they're wrong about something, even if they peep something and they start talking about it, don't interrupt them. Always let them finish talking and then just say what you got to say afterwards if it's still worth it, if it's still relevant. I wrote down the worst thing that you could do is brag about your millions of dollars to a billionaire. Or the worst thing that you could do is tell the billionaire how you run your business. You're a millionaire, right? I mean, if you want to stay a millionaire, do that. But if you're trying to be a billionaire and you're talking to a billionaire, don't tell the fucking billionaire how you make your millions of dollars. It's stupid. He's made millions of dollars 100 times more than you have. So don't do that. When somebody's giving you advice, whether it's constructive criticism or they're hyping you up or whatever it is, just don't interrupt them and just let them talk. And that just also just establishes value. What it does is it lets them know that you respect what they have to say. When you tell them, when you sit there and you listen and you are actively looking them in the eyes, your phone's off, your phone's away from you, and you're shaking, nodding your head, you're giving the occasional, okay, right, okay. When you do that, bro, it shows respect, and that strokes the other person's ego as well. It shows respect. One thing, I'll give a bonus here. One thing that I did learn from that guy that I spent an hour on the phone with getting all that valuable information and got a full page of notes from our phone call is he was actually giving me some advice. And I took all of my own advice that I'm giving y'all, but he gave me some advice. And it's because when we were first on the Zoom meeting, I was smoking a cigar. I wasn't really thinking much of it at all. I was just smoking a cigar. It's just what I do. And he was making points about how cigars are like a luxury casual item, you know? So it's kind of like when somebody's smoking a cigar, it's like, who is that? Who does he think he is? Who the fuck is that smoking a cigar? You know, he actually said that somebody went into his office, saw me on the Zoom meeting and said that. And he didn't care. He didn't think much of it, but he wanted to call me back because, and I'm sure it's because we had such an awesome conversation, but he wanted to call me back just to give me that little bit of advice. It was like, I know you didn't mean anything of it, and you're not an arrogant guy, and you're a really good guy, and I enjoyed talking to you, but I just thought I'd give you some advice on that cigar thing. Just a heads up for next time is what he was saying. It's like, if you get on the Zoom call with someone else who's maybe higher than me or someone else who you look up to, don't smoke a cigar on the first Zoom call when you're first getting to know them. So I took that. So yeah, show up on time, be respectful, don't smoke cigars, but take these 5 things that I've learned. These are life lessons that I've learned from networking with so many people and having mentors, the mentors that I've had, and learning what I've learned, and being a coach myself and having students. I know what grabs my attention and what, gets me to listen, right? And it's the same thing that for the people higher than me. So I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe. I'm dropping weekly videos about wholesale real estate, self-improvement, and just life in general. If you want my free wholesaling contracts that I use to lock up all my deals, if you want my wholesaling script that I use to lock up all my deals as well, to talk to sellers to get those contracts signed, just DM me. No. Just go on my Instagram and comment under any post and say contract or script. Go under any post, say comment contract or script. If you want my Wholesale Mastery Starter Pack for free, my free course, my wholesaling course, just DM or comment the word course on any one of my Instagram posts. And I'll send all of that to you guys for free. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can click the link in the description to book a call with me. A strategy call, but only book the call if you're serious and you have money to invest in yourself and into your wholesale real estate business. Okay? Stay motivated, y'all.